So, welcome once again, everyone. Thank you for always being here. Like I always say, without you guys, I can't be here. I'm trying holding the mic because I feel like it's the first time. I want to be free so that I can make hand gesture as much as I want. Okay, so last week we said we're going to talk about uh, responsibilities of both male and female. And I was like, these days, the men no longer want to be sole providers, and why? Do you get? Which Valley said is kind of in a noisy environment. I would have loved to kick off with him because of some of the reasons he mentioned why he wants to be married. Do you get? And he mentioned a specific reason that has to do with this topic of discourse for today. So I would like to ask, in a relationship, do you think there should be a sole provider, or it should be like a 50-50 kind of responsibility for both parties? So I would like to ask. Welcome in Nwa Ada Zion.
Hmm.
Solomon would like to go first to say, and I would like to hear from you. Why are you humming?
No, Shalto wanted to go first.
But his mic is turned on. Yours is turned on
Alright.
fire.
Okay, let me see here. I honestly don't think that it matters. We no longer live in the times where our mother and fathers, had the privilege of having that type of economy where dad could just go to work, have one job, have a car in the driveway, a house, and everything else. Those days are gone. People need to get over it. They need to jump into reality. It doesn't work like that anymore.
Okay.
I mean, not to say that it can't, but it's a little harder today with the cost of living and everything else that's going on in the world. So, I mean, I think that when you join with somebody, you join to make your lives better, you join to grow together, you join to make everything that you have better and multiply. That's
Okay.
what I think.
Okay. I get you. Okay. The reason why I'm asking is because of like in relationship these days, you see the men giving their demands and the description of how exactly they want their women to be and act while in relationship. Speaking last week, Wheat Valley mentioned that he wants a very feminine woman as a spouse. So he was saying that he wants one who is feminine in all aspects. So I want to ask, if you're expecting your partner to be very feminine, like in terms of submission, being submissive, and then probably really as feminine as Wade Valley said he doesn't want someone who can stand up to him like every now and then have to like oppose his will and all. So I'm asking, from such a one, are you still expecting such person to bring in parts of their finances into the relationship?
You, you know, oh, hang on. I'm sorry. Did anybody else want to talk before I talk? I don't want to be rude.
Okay. For now, I think you can go. It seems as though you're the only one that wants to speak.
Okay. Honestly, we have these conversations about, a very feminine woman, a very sensitive, a very, submissive, all these other labels that mean that a woman is, very giving to her man, or however you want to look at it. You get that based on how you treat your woman.
Okay.
If you treat her well, That comes naturally.
Okay.
You get what you create. If you treat her wonderful, if you make her feel beautiful, if she feels beautiful on the inside and shows on the outside, that comes natural. You don't have to demand that. You don't have to, well, I want you to be. She will just become that. And you'll see it in her. But like I said, the way that you are with her, the way you handle her, the way you treat her, the way you talk to her, the way that you motivate her, you breathe life into her, that's what determines what kind of version of that woman you get. If she
Okay.
feels that, you'll get that naturally.
Okay. Solomon, I totally agree with your point of view. I also am of the same opinion as you that you get exactly what you give in. The way you treat your woman that determines how she reciprocates or how she reacts to you. So, but some persons are of the opinion that regardless how you treat a woman, they say there are some women who don't give that 100% love or care as much as they should and support as much as they should.
And that's true.
So that's okay. So that's what brings me to the opinion of if you're looking for a woman that will probably be very masculine, very respectful, and feminine rather, very respectful, and will have to do your biddings. And at the same time, you want her to bring like 50% of finance into the family in aspect of supporting.
If you
So
if
that means that
if you buy
woman,
into
yeah,
that,
yeah.
then that's fine. For to each their own. But it doesn't
Okay.
necessarily
So
have to
that is
be
if the woman buys
50-50.
into it.
It doesn't have to be 50-50 as in, okay, our bills are $500 this month. You give me 250. 50-50 could be, you know, every time that you give her money to go get her nails done or whatever, you don't know that she's not doing it. And then all of a sudden you guys run up on hard times or the car needs a new engine or something like that. And you know what? She took all that money and was socking it away. And now you have over $2,500 you didn't even know about. Sometimes 50-50 isn't always the black and white. Sometimes it's your woman, your lady, the person you love. Instead of doing those things that you give it to her to do, she takes it
Yeah.
and saves it in case something happens. And then the man may be, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? How are we going to do this? And she walks up to him and gives him the money. So there's more to 50-50 than just you pay, I pay. Sometimes it can just be somebody saving for a rainy day that you don't know about.
Okay. So do you think that this discussion is something that should be had before like going into marriage proper or partnership as the case may be? That do you think you need to have this discussion with your partner that okay, for us to be in a relationship and the 50-50 kind of guy. So if you're willing to be in a relationship with me, you have to know that you're going to bring like 50% or even 30 or 70% of your earnings into the relationship to support the relationship. Do you think this discussion is something that should be had before going into partnership proper?
I think you should discuss things as far as finances, as far as credit goes, things like that, because depending on where you live, if no matter how much you love somebody, if you marry them, their credit life becomes your credit life. So
Spencer, you're asking to come
if
up. You can
they
come
have
up.
bad, oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Now, yeah, you
Uh,
should talk about finances because that's going to be a major thing. In a marriage, there's, I'd say, two big major things. There's, well, three. There's the relationship itself. There's the intimacy in the relationship, not just meaning in the bedroom. And there's the financial. Those are three huge things in a relationship. And finances can wreck the first two. So yeah, you do need to talk about finances, because if you get with someone and your idea is to have your life improve, not struggle, not always worrying about if this happens, how are we going to take care of this? So yeah, finances should be talked about, but not as far as, what, I make 190,000 a year, you make, 86,000 a year. You need to step it up. I don't think those kind of conversations need to be had. But as far as maintaining whatever you have together, I think those type of financial conversations should be had.
Okay. I'm sorry. I see you're asking me to put up the topic. I'm kind of struggling. I don't know if it's my network, but it's not coming up for me. When I click on the tag, for me, it's not coming up. It's just blank. So that's why I couldn't put up the topic up there directly. So please, God, you can help me just write that out in the comment section. Sole providers, that's what we are discussing today. Who is supposed to be a sole provider, and is it is it necessary that the man becomes the sole provider in the family or in the relationship? Yes, so no, not so. So SOLE, like the sole provider. Yes, SOLE. Thank you. And Spencer, you asked to be brought up that you have a lot to say. Exactly,
I
so
I
provider.
can go down so Spencer can come up.
Spencer is up, but I think maybe it's his network. He's up on the bus. So you can turn on your mic and speak, but I think his network, that's why, I don't know. These days we are battling with network issues here in Nigeria. I don't know. Yeah, so
Hello.
provider, God. Thank you. Is that Spencer speaking? Okay, God, I beg, I can hear you.
Okay, I was just asking. There was a
Okay.
part you were making reference to 50-50. I did not get that part. How is it related to the sole provider?
Okay. So the reason I ask, these days in relationship, most men don't want to be sole providers. Do you get? Yet they want the woman to contribute and still have to do most of the things she has to do as a stay-at-home mom, if she was to be a stay-at-home wife or a stay-at-home partner. Do you get? If she did not have to go to work or have to bring in part of her finances in management of the home. I don't know if you get that. Like the discussion we had last week with Valley talking about having a feminine partner. Do you get me, God, I beg?
Get you now.
Okay. So, like I was saying, these days, most men, I would say most, before you people say I'm generalizing. So most men, they want their partners to be providers, to contribute into the affairs of the home, and then again also want them to carry out their responsibilities without support from the male angle. I don't know if you get that. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean by sole providers. And like these days, back then in the olden days, the days of our parents, um, most of us were raised in homes where we get to see our fathers being the sole providers. And what our mothers just do, they are like
Most of
support.
us.
Okay. Alex, you're welcome in. Please, if you can just mute because of the, yeah, thank you. So what they do, they just give like the support. They run the home, they run the affairs of the home from whatever finances the man provides. Do you get? But these days, due to how civilized we are now and how the world has moved around. You see women work now. They have jobs and you see them supporting, bringing part of their finances into running the affairs of their own. So my question here now is, some men these days, before they go into relationship with you or consider you for marriage and all, they're already speaking about your finances, the type of job you do, how much you earn, and they're already like calculating to see how much of assistance or support you can be in the relationship. So that is the reason why I'm asking. These days, men no longer want to be sole providers. And why? So that is the question. Yeah, now, like when you meet a man now and probably your first date, he's already asking you the kind of job you do, how much you earn, and if you're to come into the family, what are you bringing to the table? How much can you support? So this is the reason why I'm asking that men no longer want to be sole providers now, and why. With Valley that I want to hear from is actually not here. I don't know if he's battling so much with his network or he's still really very much busy at work.
If somebody's asking
Big
you that on
value.
the first date, you need to get up and leave.
Sorry?
If
Yeah.
somebody's asking you that on a first date, you need to get up and leave.
Okay. So
Exactly.
if a man is asking me that on the first date, I should get up and leave, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
no, because if I went out on a first date with a woman and she started asking me that, first thing in my mind, gold digger. Don't even make my list. So,
God, I beg, are you of the same
yeah.
opinion?
And yeah, a
That's
woman,
very, very
a woman
true.
should have the
I
same
don't know
opinion.
how somebody will see it that way. I don't know why a guy will even consider that as a question to be asked. Maybe
Okay.
you should ask what she does, what she's into. But being precise about her earnings is off it now. At least if you ask her what she does, what she likes doing, her hobby, what she studied, I will understand, but not talking about her income.
Okay.
Okay,
But
what happens if the lady asks the same question to the guy? The guy definitely will not feel comfortable now. So why will you ask a question that you will not like somebody to ask you in return? So that question alone is even odd and very, very strange.
And also, if
Is
you do have kids, you have already talked about if it would be financially more advantageous for the wife or the husband to stay home with the child because childcare is astronomical. You know, around here, it averages $1,500 a week, anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 a week. And most people that aren't well to do or in the upper middle class into the upper class, they can't afford that. Rent costs $1,200 a month, along with childcare. Just between the rent and childcare, that's almost $5,000 right there. You know, so I mean, if you decide that whoever is going to stay home, you have already figured out what the person who's going out of the house is going to have to be able to make in order for that to happen. It has nothing to do with, well, okay, you're staying home, but I still expect you to do this. No, no. It's okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what I'm going to have to do so that we can do this. It has nothing to do with, okay, well, you want to stay home. So you're either going to have to find a job from home or figure out something so you can come up with some money to give me. No, if you decide to go that route, you've already figured out how much money the person that's leaving the house every day has to make. And you've also had the conversation of how long the person is going to be gone from home every day. So there's no argument about, well, you're never home. Well, we we barely see you, and when you're home, all you want to do is lay around and be lazy. Well, whoever decided to go out into the workforce and it was agreed upon, they have to work their butt off. It's not just a given that you're going to make all the money that's going to entitle you to be able to stay home and him or her go out. It takes work, it takes planning, it takes savings. You can't just, meet somebody today and get married next year and expect that, okay, I'm going to be, stay at home mom or stay at home dad. It's not the same environment as it was 80 years ago, 40 years ago, heck, even 10 years ago, because the cost of everything has gone up. So if one person wants to stay home, then there's going to be understanding on a whole lot of levels. How long the person is going to be gone, not getting upset because you rarely see the person. You already knew all of this when you decided that one of you was going to stay home. And there's no argument. There's no hard feelings. Yeah, you're going to miss the other person because they have to be gone a lot. But if both of you are gone and you're having to pay, like I said, let's say hypothetically, $1,200 a week for childcare, that's a lot of money. So, somebody staying home is going to save that $1,200 a week.
Okay.
But it
So
all
your
depends on how
opinion
you
that
look
a
at it.
partner, one of the partners should at least stay at home for childcare and all.
If that's how they choose to do it, yes. A lot of people do choose to go that route because childcare is so expensive. Unless maybe you can find a neighborhood kid who's, CPR, first aid certified for infants or whatever age child you have, and they might only charge you like $40 a day, but still that adds up. So, it's all about give and take. If you want to, be able to stay home so that you don't have to pay that expensive childcare or the expense of having to get a second vehicle because both of you are going different directions and one can't drop the other off because the other needs to have a car all throughout the day to go to different meetings, you know, that's a lot of money. Two cars in rent or two cars in a house note, that's a lot of money for one person to pull in a month. So it all depends on what you decide to do, I think. And I think a lot of us get caught up in this TikTok, version of the world. And it just jades everybody's view and causes a bunch of debates about this and that and the other, which are fine and good. But at the end of the day, it's what you decide to do as a couple. If you decide one of you is going to stay home and be mom, or the husband's going to stay home and be Mr. Mom, then that's all fine and good. But you have to understand the sacrifices that you're making to allow that type of life to be lived.
Okay. So, in your opinion, you don't see any issues with having a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home partner. So to say, like maybe a stay-at-home dad.
Right.
So, and then again, you are of the opinion that such discussion should be had. Like you and your partner have to discuss if you want to have like a 50-50 kind of relationship
Hmm.
before going into it, right?
Yeah, but it's not going to be a conversation as far as, you know what, we're going to do this 50-50. That just comes natural.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. Well, I know that people in here have dated or had boyfriends, girlfriends, have boyfriends, girlfriends. When you move in together, it's not, you guys don't sit down and you're like, okay, here are the bills. I need 50% from you. No, you just come together and you pull the money and the bills are paid. There is no mention of, okay, it's 50-50. The home is just taken care of. That's what drives me crazy about this. Well, it's got to be 50-50, or what do you think if I this or I that? It just happens. Just like when you fall in love with somebody. When you decide to join your life with somebody and move into the same apartment or the same house, that just happens because you both know that you have a roof over your head to take care of, vehicles to keep gas in, vehicles to keep maintained, and everything else that comes with building a life with somebody. It just happens and it just gets done. There is no 50-50 discussion. As far as I'm concerned, that's just a TikTok thing. Now,
Okay,
does that
that's
mean that it
fine.
doesn't happen in real life? No, it doesn't. Because as you mentioned, there are some women that no matter what you do, they're going to be blah blah blah, and that's true. There's some men that are going to be like that, but it's not that serious. I mean, if you decide you want to build a life with someone, you look forward to
Mm-hmm.
going over finances. You look forward to dreaming of being in a home one day. You guys dream together about all these things and you do together whatever is necessary for that to be achieved. If just one person working can do it, then bravo. You're like in probably the top 3% of wherever you live at that can do that. But if it takes both of you, then you know what? You've both already accepted that we're working on this together.
Okay. And Solomon, it's nice hearing from you, and I think you're speaking from your region, I would say, from your country. Coming back down to Africa, I would like to hear from some of us from the West African coast. So let's see and hear what our take is on this. You're welcome, Mr. Henry. God, I beg, I don't know if you have something to say. Jimmy, I don't know if you're still here. I would like to ask DK, Angel, like, what do you think about having to share financial responsibility with your partner and at the same time still manage the sole responsibility of catering for the children and the home entirely? What's your thought on that? You're welcome, Mr. Henry.
Hello, Mr.
Yeah.
Henry, I greet you specially. King Solomon, I've said most of it all.
Okay.
But let me put it in a way that, should I say, it concerns those of us here in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, practically, you said it earlier that those days it was like the duty of the women. And it was because of that was like the culture and the norms back then. Presently, even the ladies nowadays, they even go to, in fact, they further their education far, far more than some of the guys. So I don't see any reason
Even at
why
the
a
corporate degree.
lady with masters or whatever qualification she has and is willing to pursue a career and just because she's a mom, she's not supposed to continue is very, very wrong. And present day society have come to accept that it is also wrong. So I hardly see that happening, except maybe on special occasions, which I may not really know why it will happen. But like Solomon also said, it has to be something that is mutually agreed between the couple itself because something is happening here doesn't mean it's going to happen everywhere. So if a lady who is into whatever talent or whatever job gets married, chooses not to continue because she wants to take care of the children, I want to believe there must be some kind of mutual agreement. Maybe she's going to like change a career path or something that will still be favorable for the family and conducive for her to also manage the home, which entails taking care of the children precisely.
Okay.
So
So
my point
the reason
is,
why I brought this discussion, God I beg, I don't want you to go further more and then leave the key point.
okay,
The reason why I brought this
okay,
discussion was because I was opportune to be in one of these discussions, and the men were of the opinion that regardless how much the woman contributes to the home, she should still take sole responsibility of catering for the kids and managing the affairs of the home. And when I mean managing, like getting the food, laundry, and everything, every aspect of home management, cleaning, and well-being of the home in its entirety, including catering for the man as well. She should take the sole responsibility of doing that 100%, regardless that she has to go out and come back and then also support financially. And some of the women were of the opinion that if I am to contribute financially in the affairs of their own, then the husband also have to share part of the duties to functions when it comes to managing the home affairs. So it was a really heated argument. Do you get? Because some of the women were like, if I go to work daily as you do, you don't expect me to come back home and be saddled with the responsibility of cooking, cleaning, and also helping the kids with their homework when they are back from school, or being so responsible for waking up as early as they can to get the kids set for school. Do you get? And when they are back, they have to also come back and start preparing meals, dinner, and all. And also during the weekend, they have to also cater for the laundry and the overall management of the home. I don't know if you get my point of view where I'm coming from. So they were of the opinion that if I am contributing 50% of my earnings, or even maybe 40 or 20, depend on the discussion had, if I'm to contribute as much as 5% of my earnings in the family, then the husband also have to take certain responsibilities. We have to share the responsibilities when it comes to catering for the home. So this is where the argument came in. And it took me back, far back. My network might be bad. Okay, Mr. Henry. It took me far way back where parents happen to be the sole providers. What they do, they go work, bring in the finances, and then the woman use whatever finance is brought in to manage the affairs of the home. So I'm asking now, what changed? What brought us to this level of 50-50, to the extent that these days men, when they meet you for first dates, they're asking you, what's your job? How much do you earn? They want to know how much you can be able to bring or provide in terms of supporting when you both are in a relationship. That's the whole idea of what do you bring to the table these days. That when men sees you and the first thing they're asking is, what is it you've got to offer? What are you bringing to the table aside your physical look and all? So I'm asking, what brought us to this level? What led to this level now?
Although, let me tell you something that you see, most people just is like you are as big as your thoughts. You
Okay.
only think as much as what you can imagine. Let's be practical now. Assuming a guy now is going out for a date, and your date is like the bank manager.
Okay. The
So
lady is
tell
the
me
bank
now,
manager or the
the
guy is the
lady,
bank
yeah, the
manager.
lady, no, the lady is a bank manager. I'm not saying the guy
Okay.
is broke. Oh, no, I'm not
Yeah,
saying he's
yeah.
broke. The
Okay.
guy is doing very, very well. In fact, the guy may earn more than times 10 of the lady. But the
Okay.
bottom line is the lady is like the bank manager
Okay.
that has so much responsibility. Would you think for a second that the guy, irrespective of how rich he is, he want or suggest or even think that the lady will have to like come back to be like a housewife? It's not possible because she already has a passion. She
I've
has
seen men.
grown to certain
Okay.
extent. Okay,
Okay. I've
maybe
seen
they
men.
may have because everybody cannot be the same. All of us cannot think the same way. So definitely
Okay.
there may be some guy that will say that you have to resign, I have to be paying you whatever you think you're earning. I know that's possible. But on the average, which is half of all the home men, I don't think they will actually tell the lady to quit whatever she's doing to come back and be taking care of the children, cook and mop the floor. The reason is because at that stage, there are certain things that the lady, even if she wanted to do, she don't have to do it again. She can get a maid that will take care of that, get special nanny to take care of the children. So she don't have to come and be this so-called housewife that we always put it. So like I said earlier on, it's because of how much we can think. That is why it's limiting our thought and creates the argument towards what you expect a lady to do. Take for example, there are women that are presidents of country now. We have women as presidents of country. So do you expect that woman, because we all recognize the man is the head of the home, you expect that woman to start coming back home to be washing the dishes? Is you don't think of even that. That's my point. Because there are certain level you get to, there are certain things you are expected to do. So, but when you are not there yet,
That's where I
then there are
wanted to
certain
come in.
other things you're also expected to do.
Brother Beg, that's where
So,
I wanted to come in.
uh right.
I've actually had a conversation with a guy, and he was of the opinion that he cannot have an asshole. You know, the discussion we had last week when we were talking about most men want to marry because they are looking for like a maid in a woman, for someone, a woman who comes in and makes their dinner, their meal, all cooked as fresh or as they want it. Do you get? They are marrying because they are not marrying because of that companionship or love, but because they want someone who can come and do those jobs which they find very difficult to do. Do you get? So now, I'm asking. I said I've seen, I've heard, and I've spoken to someone who said he's not going to have a maid when he's married. That he's not going to have a maid. And this same person doesn't want a woman who doesn't have a job or doesn't go to a place of work or place of earning daily. He doesn't want a stay-at-home partner. And he also doesn't want to have a maid. So I'm of the opinion, if you want such a person, then who does the dishes? Who does the cleaning? Who does the helping out with the kids' homework and sometimes time to study and play? Or you get? How do you manage the affairs of the home? Because this is like you demanding from the woman to do even much more than is expected of you. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. And I'm not asking if I'm to be in such position, if I'm to marry such a man who doesn't want the woman to have an assistant in form of a help, who does the house management and all, but wants me, I would not want to contribute. I would not want to share 50-50% of the finance of the home. I wouldn't. Do you get? So that's what I'm asking now. If you have someone like that, you're demanding of them to run the affairs of the home, manage the home, and also contribute 50-50%. I don't get. Is it something that is worth discussing or something that shouldn't be? And why? Thank you so much, Temilade, for your compliments. Thank you. I'm expecting a lot of us to have a say. Oh, clear rapido.
Even
Uh,
to like add my own opinion about
yes,
this, I think it's just based on the couple in question,
it will be what?
because it's actually based on the couple
Okay.
in question, because it's not what works for OKK that works for CAFO. So it actually depends on how the couple runs their own affairs. You get? The way I run mine. might not be the way you would like to run yours.
Okay.
Did you understand what I'm
I
saying?
get you. I get
Now,
you.
for some couples,
Mm-hmm.
they love the idea of 50-50. Why for some they don't? Like somebody like me now, I don't, but I also believe in 20-80 or 30-80, 30-70. You get? For me now. So I'm not saying I'm not contributing at all. I will make attempts, but I'm not contributing same thing as you for me. Then there are some couples that will see it very comfortable, that they will sit very comfortable on the table of this matter.
Yeah.
So it's just based on the couples,
Mm-hmm.
what they have discussed on even before the marriage. So I think that's how it is though. Because I've actually seen a couple. Actually, the man was doing very fine. You see things about life, the man was doing very fine, but at some point the man had issue with his business. It collapsed, but he established a well-going business for his wife before then.
Mm-hmm.
So during this period that the man was trying to like get himself,
That is not
the
bad.
wife took over the
Yeah.
expensive of the home for that period of time. The
Okay.
man was the one taking care of the children, bathing, cooking. If the wife comes back every, so it's just based on the couple. They have to sit and discuss. So that's actually my own point.
Okay. So now you are of the opinion that you can contribute 2080 or
Yeah,
30
for me, either
for
twenty
you
eighty or thirty
or
seventy
30
will work
70,
for me.
or you don't want to do 50-50.
I'm not doing 50-50. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Hello.
DVC. Alex, do you have clean
Yeah.
rapido? I can see your mic
Yes.
beeping. You want to say something? Okay,
Yes.
please let's hear from you.
Yes.
Welcome. It's the first time seeing you on my live. Thank you for joining. Please let's hear
Thank you
from you.
too.
All
All
right.
right. Regarding the percentage as to what each of the partners should bring,
Okay.
first of all, in my opinion,
Uh,
there's even nothing like percentage. And if at all, like somebody like me, if at all we should even discuss percentage, it's 100% for the man.
okay.
100% for the man. Most of all those discussions as to what do you bring to the table, okay, you bring 10%. It's like that means we are not roommates. If we were roommates, then we'll okay, let's split the accommodation
Bills.
bill. After that, okay, we want to make food, we want to buy this one, okay, let's split the bill. That is not the type of relationship when it comes to being in a relationship with a woman or with something that you call partnership for life. So it is 100%. If any person is discussing percentage with me, that is already a red flag. It's
As a
like,
man.
let me, as a man,
Okay.
and if I want to liken this situation, I might even liken it to a football team. We are a team. We have a
Okay.
goal. There's something we are trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Because my goals are not supposed to be different from my partner's goals. So if we were playing on the same team, why will I tell the goalkeeper, you two have to score 2 goals when I am a striker that will have to score the goal? It's a win-win for the team. If we win, we'll rejoice. If we lose, both of us have lost.
Okay.
So by the time I'm trying to make it okay, you as the defender, you have to score 2 goals. You as the goalkeeper, you have to score 2 goals. What I'm telling the goalkeeper is to leave the post and go and be trying as much as possible to score. So when it comes to partnership, I believe if we want to even discuss anything that regards percentage, it would
Yeah.
definitely be 100% from the man and 100% from the woman.
Okay.
100% from the man, 100% from the woman. Because if like uh, growing up and doing one or two little studies around, I realized that every responsibility at home is for the man. As a matter of fact, it is the man that has the responsibility to make every provision. Like, it's the man's responsibility to cook. It's
To
the man's
cook.
responsibility. Yes, yes. It might sound strange, but it's the man's responsibility to cook. It's the man's responsibility to clean. It's the man's responsibility to provide food. It's the man's responsibility to provide everything. But the issue now is, what does the woman come to do? That's where most people get confused. As a matter of fact, the woman came to help the man also do everything because you are there as the support.
Okay.
Because then it is understanding that should come in and you realizing that okay, this my man is already doing all those things. Where are his areas of weakness that I can strengthen? It is from there you will come in. Most of all those things are not things you are actually supposed to tell somebody, you go and do this one, you don't go and do this one. You just come into people's life and just try as much as possible to the best of your knowledge to make life easy for them. You don't come with baggages. You don't come with complaint. You don't come and start complaining about a job you were assigned to do. It's like a company just hired me and I came in. The very role and the responsibility I was hired for, I'm complaining about that role. That this thing is not happening. This thing is wrong. That's why I was employed. In the same way, if I come into a lady's life, I should give it my best. In the same way, if a lady comes into my life, she should give me her best. There shouldn't be any reservation so that we don't end up raising homes that are not even conducive for children to live in. Because most of the time, if you're having issues with your partner, sometimes it's not just about you. It's also about the children you are going to raise. You have just raised another generation that are going to have problems in their marriages also. So most of all those things, they go beyond how we think we want, how we think about what we want. It's not about what we want. So let me yield the mic there in case there's any person that wants to say one or two things.
Okay, thank you so much. And then your submission is really very, very shocking to me as an African lady. Do you get? Because it's surprising. And I'm so glad it's coming from a man, though. That's why I was telling Solomon that he's speaking based on his region. So back home now, it's so shocking. It shocked me, oh, it shocked me. It shocked me, God. It's shocking to me that a man is saying that the man has the sole responsibility of taking care of the home 100% down to management when it comes to the domestic aspect of the home. Because here in Africa, and from my family background, from where I am coming from, I have that perspective, that perception that domestic work is left for the women, the feminine parts is for the domestic job. That's when home management comes in. Do you get? Then when it comes to finance, it's the sole responsibility of the man to provide for the family financially. Then when it comes to nurturing the kids, taking care of the kids, even down to advice, that's raising the kids, is the job of the mother. It's the job of the woman to use what the man has provided to take care of the family. That's how I have been raised to see. Do you get? But I'm so surprised now. Rapido is giving us another angle, stating that the man is the job of the man to cook. It's really very, very fascinating, and I like that part. I would like to know. I like that part.
Now, you don't
That's
have
the
to
part.
like that part because it's going to
Mhm.
benefit you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Then I want
Yes.
to go back to Dimi. Dimi, who has chosen a certain percentage. You've chosen that, oh, if we have to do like I have to contribute financially to the affairs of the home, I would not exceed 20 or 30% in the affairs of the home. So left for me, I would not even have an issue contributing to the affairs of the home because I feel the home is for both of us. So the much or how well I contribute, how much my husband or my partner contributes will determine how well the family is going to grow and expand. Do you get? But where I have an issue, or I'm trying to figure out how we got to that level, is when it's not mandatory, when my spouse, my partner makes it looks like it's a do or die affair, it's a must. If I'm not contributing financially to the home, it means I'm a bad partner. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from, Rapido. Yeah, in Nigeria, that's how it is these days. They say when
Now,
the woman is not contributing financially to the affairs of the home, the running of the homes, is as good as saying that the woman is a bad woman, or not really, she's not supportive enough. Do you get? So that's why you see
yes,
these days, most men want to go for women who are working. They call them the working class, or who have solid business that they run, because they feel
uh,
that having such partner is a bonus to them. That's where you get to see them sharing the responsibilities. They'll be like, okay, you take charge of providing food for the home. I will take charge of paying the rentage and footing the school bills. That's the school fees. Do you get? So me, I want to
yes.
ask Dimi in this situation. If your partner tells you you take the responsibility of paying the rent, or take the responsibility of paying the school fees of the kids, or you take the responsibility of managing the home when it comes to feeding, what would be your take? If you calculate, sometimes managing the home when it comes to feeding, you pass 20, you pass 30% to Jimmy.
My dear, na feed the nine course pass.
Okay.
The way Nigeria is going, with the way Nigeria is going now, it's feeding is really hard. I think the
Okay.
rent, or better, the children's school fee.
Any of them
No, no,
is
no,
not even
no.
better these days, because you see, tomorrow rentage of last year might not be the same this year. You hear your landlord that you
Honestly,
the rent.
my dear,
Or
when
the
we
school
get there,
fees.
we'll cross the river.
I'm asking. I'm asking. If you happen to be in the relationship and you did not have this discussion, you did not perceive the man as someone that will come up with such 50-50, or such sharing responsibility, and then you are now in the relationship and it comes up with this. How do you manage such situation? Because this was a heated argument. And most of the men on that live stream were of the opinion that the women who do not see reasons to want to share responsibility when it comes to finance are not good women. They didn't see them as wife material or responsible mothers to be. So I want to find out your opinion. Let's say you're dating someone now, and he has never come up with a discussion of financing or in the home with you, and now you are married, and he's telling you, okay, I'd like you to support in this aspect of running the home. What would be your reaction?
Something before I get busy.
Yes, please. Yes,
Time is
please.
going already.
Before
So
Jimmy comes up, yeah.
yeah. So this is the thing. If it's this is what I believe. This is my opinion.
Okay.
If it is our home and anything we're
Mm,
doing is for the betterment of our home,
yeah.
if I can afford it, why not? Where I'll have problem is if I can't afford it and you're putting pressure on me. That's where it will be a problem. But if I can gladly afford it without stress, I don't see a big deal in it. Have you heard the statement that there's a breadwinner, but when there are two breadwinners, there's more bread on the table?
I'm just sharing it from you now.
I believe that we all want easy life, so I don't
Yeah.
see why someone should carry the burden. It should be one-sided, right?
Mm,
So just like the chores too and the house management, I don't see why it should be one-sided. If
okay.
we work together, everyone, you help this one with each other's, but you help each other with each other's burden, it will be easy
Mm,
and you'll be moving fine. I
okay.
don't see why, because it may be going well, just like Dimi said, using example of that guy that lost everything and his wife took over. He may be going well at the time and then something happens. I'm not saying it must happen that way, but for an instance, something like that happens, it will now be, as in, it will now be too heavy for the person or for the man who is doing it at that time. But if you guys have been used to sharing everything, it wouldn't really be a burden,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Because when a man is the only one, the sole provider when it comes to finance, and there are some days he can't meet up,
Okay.
then he will be feeling so bad and all that. Same thing if a woman is the one doing everything that has to do with the house, and there are some days she's weak and tired, it feels somehow, and she feels she's alone. The people involved, even it's a relationship, I don't see why you shouldn't work together because you're a team. Anywhere I'm not meeting up, you should be able to meet up. Anywhere the man is not meeting up, I should be able to meet up. That's why we are two, right? They say two heads is better than one.
Yeah.
I think that thing should relate in every aspect of life. If there is a way he's not meeting up and he needs your assistance, you should assist. After all, that's why the Bible said you help, right? You're
Yeah.
meant to render help when you can. So I just believe this thing about paying rent or not, if I am comfortable and I can do it, where is going to be a problem, like I said, is if I'm under pressure, I don't have it, and you are telling me that is what we agreed on that you will do. That's where I'll have a problem with it. But
Okay.
since it's something that I can comfortably do, it's my home too. It's
Okay.
for the benefit of the home. He's not doing
Okay.
the, this. See, let me just cut it down. Summary of everything is exactly what Solomon said. Is the way you treat the woman that will make her who she is or how you want her to be. If the man is giving me everything I need and all the attention and everything, trust me, the woman would give anything when you are there, when you feel like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, as long as everything is fine, I don't see where finance or chores should be a problem if you guys work as a team.
Okay. The chores
That's my
now is
take.
a problem
No, I said
because
I don't see where. Okay, you said the chores will be a problem. Why?
because there are men who are of the opinion that they don't need help as long as they have a wife. They don't need helps. Like when I mean helps, maids, house helps. Do you get? There were a lot of them who were of the opinion that as long as they are married, they don't need a maid who can come to the house and work or assist the woman because there's a woman in the house already. So his submission was, why should I need a maid or a babysitter? Do you get? And this
That
same
is
man
true.
wants is someone who is of the opinion that the woman should contribute at least 50% when it comes to the financial aspect of running the home.
So that is where it still boils down to when you overburden someone. Because I think that is, see, the woman will do her own part. If we want to make it that, like, follow the old ways, the olden
Yeah.
days, I say it is the role of the man to be the sole provider, then I shouldn't see why he should be requesting for 50%. So
Okay.
if he's not following the old ways, then he should better adapt to it. That is either you get a help or you be the help. You assist. It's not like he would be the one to take over the full-time job of the home. No. But when they say assist, that's what it actually means. Assist. Like help out. If two of you, imagine you as a you in your relationship or marriage, and you go to work together and two of you are coming back at 9 p.m. And the lady still has the kids clothes to wash, and she has to make up their food for tomorrow going to school, and she still has to take care of herself, and she still needs to serve you dinner. And you say, as the guy or as the man, you should just sit and wait for her to do all that and serve you. Your wife is not a subject, she's a human being. So if you guys are a team, like I said, you would work together and make things work. That way you would reduce each other's burden and everything will work out fine. That's what I believe.
Oh. And King is of 50-50 opinion on the comment section. And I have Mercy. It's all Mercy. She's highly opinionated on the comment section as well. Mercy, you can come up. You can send a request. So you come up and you share your thoughts. Exactly. So King, I think I sent a request to King. I wanted to hear from him. Oh, you are a man. So sorry about that. Okay. So you can send your request. I think it's of the opinion that it's 50-50. It's like a must for him, the way he stated it here. Think, if you're here, please come up. Come and tell us what you mean when it comes to 50-50. Are you saying 50-50 when it comes to finance, or 50-50 when it comes to running the affairs of the home between the woman and the man? Is that what you're saying? Shato, we've not heard from you. I would like to hear from you, Shato, your opinion as regards this. Okay, King is here. King, yes. The way you said that 50-50 started so strong in the comment section. 50-50 for what?
I always do 50-50. It's not gonna be me doing everything. It's not gonna be the one.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Can you be a bit audible?
I said I always do 50-50. I'm not gonna be the one always doing everything.
Okay. So when it comes to running the affairs of the home, you willingly share, take a part, manage the home, do your 50% part. Is that what you mean?
You always want to do your part. There's no assumptions. You cannot go back on it. We discussed that.
Okay, so this is something you would discuss before going into the relationship fully, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you see, we have different opinions now, because Solomon is of the opinion that you don't even have to have that discussion. And Angel, you're of the opinion you don't have to have that discussion, right?
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
Okay, regarding having the discussion of 50-50, my opinion on that is, of course, finance is very important. Of course, it's good you discuss finance. And as you are discussing finance, from there you will know the person's mentality towards money, how the person sees money, what's the person's idea of his money. Of course, certain persons believe my money is my money, then your money is our money. There are times we just create beliefs in our head that will ensure that we don't have quality relationships. What is your money is your money, my money. Our money is our money. There's nothing like, because as the man, actually, will you ever go out and spend a dime that's not for the benefit of the family? Because if you look at all your expenses, if you're buying a house, it's for everybody. If you're buying a car, it's for everybody. If you're buying food, it's for everybody. Except maybe on the occasion that you want to do, so let's call it charity now. Directly or indirectly, it's still for the family. So why would somebody say, okay, all these things that you are doing, you bring 50 or I bring, this conversation sometimes is very funny, because I find it difficult to understand why I should bring a part and you bring a part and we are not roommates. We shouldn't turn partnership or relationship into something that people just create up. Because earlier you asked a very important question as to how did all these things start? What was the
How did
origin?
we get here? Yeah.
Exactly. How did we get here? It was because certain persons that have the wrong understanding of how things should work in a relationship, probably they got their heart broken, somebody cheated on them, and they started creating narratives and started pushing it out there. So people started buying the idea and started replicating it in their homes. And at the end of the day, it's not even working for anybody. In my own opinion, I still believe the man should bring 100%. Why the woman bring 100%? It's 100%. Bring all you have got to this thing, because this is life. Then I'll bring all I have got to it, because it's a team. If I fail, we have failed. If you fail, if you fail, we have failed. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about what we can do together. You understand? So thank you.
Okay.
Exactly what Rapido said is what I'm saying, because I wanted to ask King a question, or people that are saying 50-50. When you say 50-50 and you guys make out plans like, I'm going to be the one to pay house rent, or I'm going to be the one to pay school fees, and something happens, I couldn't meet up. Will you say because of that you will let it go? You won't do it because it's my own share. That's why we're a team. You won't say because of that you will let it go. Like you said, if I'm losing, you are losing. That's why we're a team. We're in the relationship, or we're a family, right? So I don't see I don't want to go into more details because it's obvious. Um it's all Messi wants to say something. So I was about to drop so he can come up and say something. But I'm saying, I'm going with Rapido. I don't see why. We want to grow. We're in this together. And yes, it's obvious it's people that have gone through bad times that will bring up this narrative so that they no go chop me go. All
They're
those
not going
kind
to
of
cheat me.
statements. I tell you, they no go cheat me. So that's just it. It's not that's just where this problem started from. If you love someone, you will give it your all. I don't see why we are sharing everything we're supposed to do. If you love someone, you won't want to see the person sad. So anything that you will do to make the person happy, you will do it. And it should be vice versa. It shouldn't be a one-sided thing. That's just it.
Okay. Okay. Alex, please, can I quickly borrow your box for the guy on the comment section to call me,
Oh, don't
please?
worry.
Thank
Let me
you.
drop down Inex. I already have things to do before 9.
Okay, okay then. All right. So it's all messy. Let me get it is all messy. Please send in your request so you can come up. Chato, please, you wanted to say something. Chato.
Yeah.
Since CX, your network is bad. Each time I try to bring you up, you go down. So I don't know. So please, it's all messy. Send in your request so you can come up. Yes, Chato.
No, I'm just a bit confused by some of the things that I heard because to me, and particularly if you're talking about a married couple, I don't see where there's any percentage that's supposed to be there, particularly on the financial part, because you're all one with one shared resource when it comes to the financial part. So if you're talking about just a you know, I guess domestic couple, boyfriend, girlfriend, or what have you, maybe. But if you're a married couple, no, there shouldn't be no percentage, deals, established there. That's just the way I see it.
Okay. Okay. It's all messy. Please, you can go on now. Let's hear your thoughts or your views on this.
Are you guys really ready to hear what I want to say? Well, you see, I everybody have their valid point. Some say, someone said 50-50 is there.
Sorry, I can barely hear you. Can we hear him clearly? I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now? I'm speaking louder now. Is this okay?
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. So I was saying, I said everybody. Some said their part, and then some people said 50-50 for some reasons, and some said no, they don't see that. I belong to the group of people that said I prefer 100. And you see, one thing I want to ask everyone here, or those that are in a relationship, or maybe you're married, do everybody realize that the way a man left his family is equivalently the same way the lady left her family, just to
Okay.
become one, just to stay together.
Okay.
That means every contribution, every one of you compromised. That means anything you're doing, you have to put that person in your mind and try to compromise that before you take any action. Number one, that's called respect. Number two, you all put your resources together to come and agree to under one roof. that means there is nothing like division. It's not a contract, it's an agreement. You understand? Now, a contract can also be in agreement form. But when you agree with someone that, oh, will you marry me? Yes, I will. Okay, let's pack in together. I ask your family, you ask my family, then we divided the situation. That should I still don't see any common sense. I still don't know why we cannot act normal in our life. Why you should say, oh, because I've done this, you must do this. Does that make sense? It is not a father-child thing. It is equality. I'm really tired of many discussions I hear on this TikTok. Sorry. Why is it just not right to just act normal? Because you went to 8 hours job, a woman staying in the house with children. I was sitting down in the therapy section with the woman. The woman was frustrated. That is a full-time damn job. She woke up in the morning, she does this, she does that. Why can't it just be normal? Because she went to 8 hours job, does that mean the woman? And if it's a woman that is at the job place and you are the one home, if she comes back home, you guys should just work it out. I still don't get why we can't just sit down and like, people will say, communication is the key. Communication is not a key. Dialoguing is the main thing. I might be communicating with the host, and I'm not making sense to the host. And when you are dialoguing with someone, the person is in the context. He's going to give you the same reply based on what you table. Why can't I still don't understand that 50-50 of a thing. I still don't understand it. So
you do not agree with the 50-50 of a thing?
Why will you say to your partner, somebody you said you love, somebody you said we should be together, why are you sharing things with the person? I still don't understand. I still don't get it. Okay, if I put this.
What's your opinion here now?
Come on.
What's your opinion if you were to be in this position?
Just put your best.
Everyone should put their best in it.
And agree with yourself like, okay, this is the way we have to do this.
Okay, so it's all messy. When you get married, or if you're already married, are you saying that you are not of the opinion of asking your wife to like contribute financially into the running the affairs of the home?
It is a common sense that if she has the financial capacity, she will contribute. You don't need to talk. It's a common sense. I mean, why would she? Please, can we act normal? I'm tired. I don't understand. Please.
Calm down.
I don't get my point.
It's okay, calm down.
Bro, you understand what I'm saying? Why should I tell one like, I don't get it.
Okay.
I'm just tired of all this life.
Okay.
Stop it.
Is he married?
I'm not. I mean, I'm just tired of hearing all
He must have gone through a lot.
Okay. It's okay. Be calming down now. Be calming down.
A lot of emotions in his tone.
I'm not getting. I'm not really tensed. But what I want you to understand is why are we not acting normal? It's a simple thing. You don't need to bug your partner to pay something once you both live on the same roof and you made agreement to be together. Sir or ma, it's a common sense. I don't understand. But well, because to me, I don't know why that should be a conversation.
Some people are crazy. You know, you have to understand that some women are born.
They are sick. They are just sick. It's sickness. Really, they need to.
Okay, it's okay. Let's hear from Wheat Valley because we'll be rounding up now. So please, Wheat Valley, do you have any suggestion to this? Normal is subjective. Okay. Wheat Valley,
yes, I can also share my opinion.
Alex, why are you in the same house? Why? You're re-echoing. Your background is re-echoing.
Okay. Now, the way I look at it, actually, I will not deviate from the previous speaker. Like, he's making a point, a very serious point. But you see, the world we live in today is changing, okay? 50 years back, like the world we are living in today is changing, okay? There's a lot of things that are changing. The relationships are changing. There is a time when a man was supposed to be the provider. like in time of our grandparents, some of our parents actually, but mostly like 60 years back in the past, it was a man 100% to provide. Okay, the contribution of a woman was clear and known, and the contribution of a man was very obvious at that time. But today, the society is confusing people. Like they are convincing women to try so much to become men. Some women think that everything a man can do, also a woman can do. Okay, so they are pushing this idea of equality. I don't think that the idea of equality is actually possible. I don't think it can be possible because naturally there are some things that women can do that men cannot do, and also what men can do that women cannot do. But the society is convincing women that everything a man can do, a woman can do, which I don't think is the case. Yes, but now if these people are advocating for equality, then they then they should contribute also in the family. Like, for example, if I go for working, and my woman is going for working, then we must have a maid take care of the home. Okay, so it is not fair for me as a man to pay the maid, to buy everything at home, to pay the school fees, when the woman is. There's a saying in my language, there's what people usually say that esente y'ekikazi, meaning that money of a lady, like the money that belongs to a lady is for the lady. I heard also someone saying it, right? If it is equality that we are looking for and is what we are advocating for, then women can equally contribute in the house, So I see no problem at all for a woman also to, to contribute. He can even contribute 100% because he wants to be equal to a man. Then they have to do what men can do also. So this idea that women should not contribute is not fair, because you're advocating for equal rights, and when it comes to contribution, you want to be aside. You don't want to talk about it. When it comes to other responsibilities, you want to be hard. In fact, let me give you a simple example that shows that some women are not fair. Okay, there is a woman who was working in our government. He was fighting for the rights of women, girls, those kind of people. But some people investigated when her maid, first of all, she could not allow maid to eat with her children. Like, it was so discriminative when it came at her place, the way he treated her, So you can see that women, yes, consciously, they want to be treated right. They want to be at the equal, equal to men, but still their action, they know very well that they cannot compete with men. They know it deep inside them, but outside they want to show that they want everything a man can do. They want to be equal to them. They don't want, for other people to think otherwise. They want them to be equal, which is not possible. I think we haven't reached that level. Women have to accept that, yes, we are trying to be equal, but we haven't reached there. Let us be, let us be humble, and we give the guys, yes.
Which value? So are you saying that because women are seeking for equal rights, is the sole reason why you will share responsibility when it comes to managing and running the affairs of the home? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. But sometimes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Equal right at the place of my job.
Sorry?
If I'm seeking equal right at the place of my job,
yes,
this has nothing to do with my partner at home now. Probably I'm just seeking equal right at the place of my job. I'm seeking for equal pay because we probably have the same
equal rights,
job
equal rights at your place of work. Equal rights at your place of work. It's going to come as a result of your qualifications, because when it comes to work,
we have the same degree and we are managing the same job role. Like, we are on the same managerial position.
Yes.
But because you are a man, probably your offers comes with a car, an accommodation, probably like 20% higher pay than mine because I'm a woman. So if I start seeking
Then that's
equal
wrong.
rights in these aspects, would that make you
That's
feel like
wrong. That's wrong.
you'd also be 100% responsible when it
Discriminated.
comes to running the affairs of the home?
Yes, like I think there is a difference when it comes to these professional positions. For example, at our places of work, then if at all you somehow discriminated because of your gender, then that's wrong. Because the world we live in today is not the gender; it's what you have within you. It's your competence. Okay, so if the woman is well qualified and is suitable for the position, should be given everything that goes with the position. And if it's done otherwise, then that's discrimination. But I thought this topic is focusing at home, because domestic activities at home, there are no qualifications. We are following our belief systems. Yes, there are no qualifications that are required for you to do dishes, to do laundries. There are some things at home that we know they are supposed to be done by women. But women are fighting so much, advocating that no, why women should cook? Why can't a man cook? You know, such things. I thought those are the things that we are discussing here.
It's part of it. Let's say you're asking a
Yes.
woman to contribute 50% of her finance into the running the affairs of the home. And in return, the woman is telling you, if I'm to do this, then you have to share the cooking responsibility with me. You have to share nurturing
Yes.
kids with me. So, are
Yes.
you down for such? If you're
Yes,
asking
yes.
your partner to
If
bring
at all,
50%, yeah, are you
if
down
at all
for
a
sharing
lady
the
is contributing
responsibility?
50%,
Yeah.
if he's contributing 50%, then I should also contribute equally. Okay?
Okay.
Everything that is done at home, I should equally contribute. Okay?
Domestic
I
violence.
should engage in all activities 100%.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. We're almost at the end. I noticed that 1 hour is no longer enough. We've exceeded 8 p.m. now. We are running towards 9 p.m. Like I mentioned, you also how heated up all messy was. It's all messy when it came up. This was how heated up the discussion was when it came up also. Because some of the men were not having it at all. They were like, you have to
But I think it's very important to, like, if you have to make a functional home, then it's important for a man to be a little bit more contributing than a woman, for you to remain with that respect of a man.
So you
Because
agree to
somehow,
70-30 or 20-80, right?
sorry,
You agree to 70-30 or 20-80.
yeah, 80-20.
You agree to 80-20, okay. Because of
Yes,
the
yes.
wow. So you
Because
think
I want to remain,
you think
I want to be the head of the
so you
family.
think you being able to provide for the family 100% is what gives you the respect more? Is that what you think?
Exactly, and that's how it's supposed to be. Because honestly, if you don't know some ladies, the moment I know exactly, there's something that happened at my place of where I stay, apartments where I stay. So there is this simple story. There's a woman. They were married with a man. Then a man was taking care of this woman for over 10 years. Okay, but she was also working. But of course, they didn't know where the woman's money was going. But when the guy lost his job, like this, within a period of 1 week, the woman could go outside talking on phone with other people, saying, now you see the responsibilities, I have to do this and this, to make sure that everyone in the apartments knows that, is the one contributing. Not even a week, but he wants everyone to know that is the one taking care of the family. But the man has been doing that for over 20 years and wasn't telling anyone that I'm the one contributing. So you can see.
Okay. Temilade has something to say. She's opposing the fact that you said the man taking responsibility makes him get the respect he deserves. Temilade, you can unmute and tell us why you have that opinion. Hello, Tim. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good
I would
evening.
like to say,
Yeah.
first of all, according to the Bible, because I am a Christian, I don't know how the Quran says it, but according to the Holy Bible, the, the Bible says, woman, submit yourself to your husband. Now, in the aspect of being submissive, does not mean men should start taking women for a food, because some men will feel that once you submit yourself, your life is in their hands. You should start being 100% open to them as their wife. You should be able to talk about anything with them. Meanwhile, the Bible said in the same book of Ephesians that the husband should love their wife as Christ loved the church and gave himself for the church. Now, men do not want to hear that part when it comes to family matters, that is taking their part or responsibility at home. They feel that they just want the women to submit. Now, in the aspect of providing for the family,
Yeah.
the Bible said when God created Eve was a helpmeet, that is a support. Adam was doing very well before God created Eve. But because God felt the stress was too much for Adam, God gave him Eve, which was like a support system. If you all understand what I mean. Now, some men now has taken it upon themselves that this their support system should wreck.
Sorry about that. Please go
Can,
on.
can you hear me,
Yes,
please,
I can hear
everyone?
you. I can hear you.
Okay, some men now has taken it upon themselves that their support system should wreck. Now, they will say, okay, women, they are not submissive. Women, they are not this. Do you think it's not a provision of the family? Respect your wife. Make her happy. If you are going out, baby, I'm going to so and so place, be truthful, be sincere, be plain. Now, that does not mean you cannot keep secrets. As a couple, there are some things you cannot talk to your husband or your wife about. Yes,
Really?
Why?
I'm not married,
Really?
but I know what I'm saying. There are some things that you
I
will
don't
not
know.
be able to talk
You see,
to your partner about, which
sometimes
you you
I think
know
the
very
Bible
well that as a
Let
man,
me,
misleading.
if you tell your
okay,
wife this
thank
thing, she
you.
no go
Wait, let's
understand.
not, let's not deviate. Tell me, let's not deviate, okay? Because what you're trying to bring up now is
Okay, let me
another,
let me talk about.
is a topic for another day. So what we're
But
talking
No,
about
you,
is
I'm trying
responsibility.
to go back to, yes, not everybody is a Christian. We are talking about equal responsibilities. Yes, that's what I'm driving at. Now,
Yeah.
in the sense of getting equal responsibilities between
Mm,
a couple, that is why
mm,
I said God created a woman as a support system for a man. That is when the man is weak and weary, the woman should be able to support him financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically, intellectually, and in fact, in any way, because she is a support system. She is not the man, because the Bible says the man is the head of the house. I don't know if the same thing Quran says. The man is the head of the house. So she is not the man. She is a support system to the man. That is a backbone. Now,
I think that's
to
wrong.
make sure that your wife will be able to
Hold on,
take equal
and that's why me
responsibilities
I
at
don't follow
home,
the Bible.
you as a man, you have to give her something. You will give her something that will be able, that when you are in need, she will be able to give you back. Now, as for me, I can go with 70-30 in responsibilities at home. Babe, let us do this thing. You talk to me about it. Okay, we conversate about it. We understand. We comprehend that. Okay, this is it. You
So
bring
why don't you
idea.
want to
Me, let
go
me bring
50?
my
Okay,
idea.
I
We
get your
talk
point
about
now.
it. Now, our responsibilities at home.
Tell me, sorry to cut you. I get your point now. I've gotten what exactly I'm looking for. You mentioned.
Yeah, I'm with
You
you.
said you said you will go for 30-70, right? So which means the man doing more of the 70% financially and you 30%,
Yeah,
right? If I
yeah,
may ask, why don't you want to do 100? Why are you opting for
yeah,
30-70?
yeah.
Hmm. Or 50
because the
50? Why?
Bible says so.
Wait, Valley,
As
let's
for
hear from
me, I cannot do the 50, I cannot do the 50-50
you. Okay.
because I am an African.
Hmm.
That is the number one. I'm an African lady. I don't expect myself that I and my husband will be forming equality at home. He is the head of the house. I cannot be dragging position with him. But in some aspects, himself he cannot drag position with me. We know our boundaries. We will know where we cannot cross.
Where do you put your
Even with
money?
the 70-30% of financial responsibility at home, we will know our boundaries. Okay, as my wife, this is what I expect you to do more.
Okay,
Where do
so
I
But you
put
should.
my money?
I
okay,
think
okay.
it's good for a lady
Did
like
you
Hold on,
you
you
wait,
which
sorry,
to
I'm
which
always
bringing
valid?
give
Did you
all
say
the
where
money
did
to
I
your
keep my
husband.
money?
You give
Hold
money to your
on,
husband to keep it for you.
Tell me, will I be right
Okay,
to
now
say that?
my okay
Hold
the
on,
my
please,
money goes to.
We have less than 8 minutes to go. Sorry. So I want to say this, and I want you to give me a direct answer because you just said that you're an African woman and you don't see yourself doing 50-50 or 100
All
with
right.
husband because he's the head. So does that go to justifies which values, or does it validate which values opinion of saying that the more the man can contribute financially to the affairs of the home, it accords him more respect. Does that go to validate his statement?
Well, if I would give you a direct answer about that, the more
Yes.
he provides for the home does not validate his respect. It is his attitude,
So why
how
did you
he
say an
acts, how he
African woman? As
behaves.
an African woman, you cannot do 50-50 or 100-100.
I cannot do 50-50 because I don't understand. I am meant to be a support system, not to take everything on my head. When he
Okay.
needs me, I will be available. That is why it is 70-30. Okay, the 20% that is supposed to make it 50 will be in my safe box. In case my baby needs my help financially, oh, babe, I need so and so amount. Okay, out of the 20% wey I don dey save, take this one. You return it back to me. It's just like that. That is how it is. I'm not trying to make it seem like I am
May,
trying to say what
may
he's
want
saying
a
is
wife
wrong.
like family.
It is his opinion. It is
Okay,
his
with value,
opinion.
yes, with
But
value. Just
I,
quickly keep it before we go, please. Yes.
I want to get a wife like her.
Uh,
Okay.
can I just chip in one or two things before you go?
yeah, you
Yes,
can.
please.
Can I quickly
Okay.
add? I don't find better network. I
Uh,
beg. Okay.
uh,
After clear rapido.
okay. First of all, I want us to probably, since there's no time, a lot of persons might want to think about this. You
Yeah.
say 50-50.
Who
If you
is
bring in 50, the other 50 you are keeping,
who
what
is saying with
exactly
value
are you going to use
again?
it to do? What exactly is that 50 for? Is it for your own personal pleasures? Let me just hold that thought. And considering what she said, I think Timmy, I'm not saying your full name. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. Timmy, she said when she started, I was very happy. She started from a very good premise, and she was quoting the Bible as to God telling Eve, come and be a helpmate. God never told Eve to come and
Yeah.
support with 50% or with 30%. God told Eve to come and support in all ramifications. Yeah, just support this man for
Exactly.
this man to
Companionship. In
succeed.
fact, the sole reason was for companionship. It's not that
Exactly.
Adam was
Exactly.
alone.
Yeah,
uh
that's what I'm trying to
All
To
other
say.
creatures had male and female, but Adam
exactly.
was alone. So
Yes, he
it's
was
for
alone.
companionship.
For
For that
companionship.
knocking reason, that was why they made him for Adam.
One of the reasons also.
Ah, God will forgive you.
That's the reason.
Exactly. They don't. They, they,
You understand?
they
So
know. They know what me. They know what me Adam do soapy. They know what me Adam do soapy.
Okay. Okay, guys, thank
Okay.
you so
Okay.
much. I really appreciate
Okay.
the time
Can
spent.
I? Can
Alex,
I?
you want to say
Index.
something?
Can I add 1 minute? Index. Can I? Can I go for one
Okay,
minute?
just 1 minute.
Yes. Very quickly.
Just
Very
1 minute.
quickly. Yes.
Just 1 minute.
Okay.
Just 1 minute.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just 1 minute.
All right. So I've been listening to everybody and their views. I just want to say that all in all, it comes down to subjective perception. You know, there are different people have different likes and different things that they like, and different expectations and different backgrounds as well. You know, so some people
Yeah.
will like that position of sole provider and being the sole provider in the relationship, while some prefer equal financial contribution from both partners. You know, so I think all in all, right, it's a matter of finding those people that complement you and the style that you want. I think that's the only way to make it work, because if you follow, because societal patterns have become different. You know, societal patterns have become different. Different people with their views and opinions. You know, so it's everything is more or less subjective now. So I think the best way to approach it is to say, okay, let me find the one that complements me, that complements my values, the one that we can work together, that is fine with me. So I think it's subjective basically. So let's find the ones that complete us, so to speak.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you all, and I'm so happy we did not end up throwing bottles on each other. Milade. Okay. Okay.
Which
So
Valley said that way? Enter the DM.
don't worry, we've given them a hashtag. Timesville 2025.
All
So
right.
we're looking forward to that. Okay. So thank you so much for your submission.
No, which hashtag have I go?
Okay, tell me. So Dimi, thank you so much. It's nice seeing you around. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Clay Rapid. It's the first time having you on the live, and it's nice to have you share your opinion. We do this weekly every Thursdays from 7 p.m. Thank you so much. Thank you, with Valley, everyone who has joined and has commented and has shared their views so far. I am
You're
so
welcome.
grateful.
Thank you too.
I appreciate your presence and submission. Okay. Thank you for joining. Next week, what we'll be discussing is forgiveness. So I want to find out from every one of us, do women get forgiven of their past as much as men are forgiven of their past? Do you think is the same when it comes to both gender? So this is what we'll be talking on next week. Hopefully, God keeping us alive. I'll be so happy to have you on back here next week to discuss this. Thank you so much. We need to run along now to join another live session. Thank you so much, and I appreciate your presence. Do have a wonderful night rest. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Index, she's still finding the button.